Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into an absolutely game-changing professional framework that's going to completely transform your weekend maintenance routines. We are breaking down the top-to-bottom cleaning system. This is the exact step-by-step workflow used in homes, offices, hotels, hospitals, and schools to guarantee a totally flawless space, but in just a fraction of the time.
So, let's start with a highly relatable frustration. Have you ever spent hours scrubbing, dusting, breaking a sweat, only to look back and see dust immediately settling right back onto your freshly mopped floor? It kind of feels like an endless battle, doesn't it? Well, the truth is, if cleaning feels like it's taking way too long, you are likely working against the natural laws of your environment.
The biggest difference between how we clean at home and how professionals clean really boils down to amateur instinct versus a professional system. Most of us just rely on instinct, right? We spot a dirty counter, we wipe it. We see a crumb on the rug, we vacuum it. But that instinct-based spot cleaning causes chaotic backtracking. It actually forces us to clean the exact same areas multiple times. Professionals, on the other hand, rely on a highly structured, logical workflow. They don't clean harder, they just clean in a very specific order.
All right, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. 1. The professional secret. 2. Gravity and core principles. 3. Preparation and essential tools. 4. The master cleaning sequence. 5. Room-by-room workflows. And 6. Common mistakes to avoid.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the professional secret. The core secret is a universally applied system, top to bottom, left to right. Basically, what this means is that you always clean higher surfaces before lower ones, and you move across the space in one consistent direction. So imagine moving clockwise around the room. When you combine those two rules, they create this incredible logical flow that ensures you literally never clean the same surface twice. It's like a mental checklist that completely takes the guesswork out of the whole chore. Moving on to Section 2, Gravity and Core Principles.
I absolutely love this quote because it hits the nail right on the head. Gravity always works the same way. Dust and particles fall downward. It's undeniable physics. Dust, debris, and cleaning solutions naturally fall downward the second you agitate them. If you work from the bottom up, say you wipe your baseboards first and then decide to dust your ceiling fan, you are literally fighting gravity. You're forcing yourself to re-clean lower areas when that dust inevitably falls right back down onto the work you just finished.
And here is why professionals adhere to this rule so strictly. By simply aligning their workflow with gravity, professionals save an estimated 30 to 40% of total cleaning time. Just think about that. They aren't scrubbing 40% faster or working themselves to the bone. They're saving a massive amount of time purely through motion efficiency and cutting out all that redundant rework.
All right, let's look at Section 3, Preparation and Essential Tools.
Now, before a single drop of cleaner is sprayed, you've got to execute the pre-game rules. First up, ventilate the room. Open the windows to improve air quality and help those chemicals dry safely. Second, clear the clutter. Professionals never clean around loose items, so get the trash and obstructions out of the way first so you don't break your flow later on. Finally, the dry to wet rule. You must always do your dry dusting and sweeping before introducing wet chemicals. Why? Because dust mixed with liquid just creates a sticky mud that is infinitely harder to remove. And trust me, nobody wants to clean up mud they just made themselves.
When it comes to the tools of the trade, microfiber is absolutely king because it traps dirt rather than just pushing it around the room. And there's a genius 8-sided folding technique you should be using. You take your microfiber cloth, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. Boom. That gives you 8 distinct, clean sides to work with. The second one side gets dirty, you just flip it to a fresh side. It saves you from constantly running back and forth to the sink, it makes the cloth last longer, and it prevents cross-contamination between different surfaces. Another really crucial prep strategy is the clean to dirty room progression. The rule dictates that you should always start in the rooms that are farthest away, like the back bedrooms or the master bath, and systematically work your way towards the main exit. The reason is simple. You never ever want to have to walk through a freshly cleaned area with dirty shoes or dirty equipment just to leave the building.
Which brings us to Section 4, the master cleaning sequence.
So this is the actual physical journey you're going to take in every single space. Step 1. Start way up high with an extension duster on the ceiling corners, the light fixtures, and fan blades. Step 2. Step down to mid-level surfaces, meaning your countertops, window sills, and furniture. Step 3. Move down to the lower cabinets and baseboards. By doing it this way, all that dust and debris from the top of the room is systematically pushed downward. Eventually, it all lands on the floor, where it just waits for easy collection.
Let's see how this applies practically in Section 5, Room-by-Room Workflows.
Let's take the kitchen, for example. The journey begins up at the upper cabinets and range hood. You wipe away that grease and dust which naturally drops some debris down onto the counters below. Next, you tackle the backsplash, counters, and appliances. Any crumbs from the counter? You just brush them right off onto the floor. Then, you wipe the lower cabinets, and finally, you sweep and mop the floors. It's just one continuous downward cascade of cleaning.
Now, bathrooms demand heavy hygiene. Professionals will actually allocate a good 20 to 25 minutes just for this room. You start high again, with ceiling extractors and mirrors, then move down to the tub, the sink, and the toilet. A huge professional mandate here is using color-coded cloths, like a red cloth exclusively for toilets and a blue one for glass, to strictly prevent cross-contamination. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Amateurs spray and immediately wipe. Professionals spray their disinfectants and let them sit for their required dwell time to actually kill bacteria while they go clean other areas of the room.
Throughout every room's workflow, whether you're at home or tackling a commercial office space, you cannot forget the high-touch surfaces. Light switches, door handles, remote controls, handrails, these are literal superhighways for germs. These mid-level checkpoints need dedicated disinfection with proper dwell times as you circle the room from left to right.
Let's wrap things up with Section 6, Common Mistakes to Avoid.
So if you've been tracking with the logic of this top-to-bottom system, you can probably guess this next one. What do you think is the absolute worst workflow error you can make? I'm talking about the cardinal sin that will instantly sabotage your entire cleaning session. Any guesses?
It is cleaning the floors first. Honestly, the floors last rule is a non-negotiable law of the universe. If you vacuum or mop before you wipe your counters or dust your ceiling fans, you are 100% guaranteeing that dust, crumbs, and dirty cleaning fluids are going to fall right onto your pristine floors. Always, always do the floors last so they can act as a catch-all for the debris from the rest of the room.
And there are a few other major efficiency killers we see all the time too. Vacuuming before you dust, that just forces you to vacuum twice. Skipping high surfaces means invisible dust is constantly raining down on your furniture all week long. Using way too much chemical product is another huge one. It leaves this sticky residue behind that literally acts like a magnet for new dirt. And finally, wiping in circles. Amateurs love to aggressively scrub in big swirls, but that just spreads contamination right back to where they started. Professionals wipe lightly in straight, overlapping lines.
And that brings us to the end of our workflow explainer today. The top-to-bottom system isn't just about making things clean, it's about reclaiming your time. It completely transforms a chaotic, exhausting chore into a highly predictable, satisfying system. So, the next time you pick up a microfiber cloth, I challenge you. Are you going to keep fighting gravity, or are you ready to start cleaning like a professional? Give this system a try during your very next cleaning session. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy cleaning!